What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am going to bring you guys the next video in my series of How Many Releases Do You Wish. This is a series that I created kind of as a spin-off of my must-have must-gag, where I talk about all of the releases that have been released in a month. This time I'm going to be talking about the releases in the month of June. If you are not new to my channel and you follow me semi-consistently, you'll know that I was pretty much gone for the whole month of June. So a lot of these releases I have not actually talked about in any form. So this might be a little bit of a longer video because I'll be giving you guys my opinions. But as always, I will have the photos and the amount of releases that the brand has done this year under the photos. If you're interested in this eye look, I did record it and it is going to be a part of my tutorials using my Menagerie Cosmetics Whale Song palette. I haven't decided how many actual eyeshadow or how many looks I'm going to be doing. I know I can easily do 3. I might be aiming to do 5. It just kind of depends. So if you're interested, just let me know how many looks you want me to do, because by the time this goes up I will not have finished doing all of my looks for that palette. But yeah, let me scoot over. I already have my my phone ready and up to Trend Mood, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first thing that Trend Mood talked about on June 1st that was available in the month as for makeup was the Ipsy and Tetris official collection. Now this collection I did talk about in my must-have must-gag, but just to kind of recap, I thought it was cute but nothing that I really needed. At most I was wanting to get some of those lip balms, but honestly I don't need a lip balm, and not in that type of packaging. You kind of go through lip balm too often to buy such a fancy packaging, so that was a complete skip for me. Next, Luminous Cosmetics released their Lion King collection. This is a collection that is also in collaboration with Sir John, who is Beyonce's makeup artist. The eyeshadow palette was a complete pass for me. The contour palette was a complete pass for me. For me, the only thing that was really intriguing were the lip products, and specifically it was the really bright lipstick. To date, I still have not picked it up, but I'm hoping that it'll go on sale on Ulta's website, and then maybe I will pick it up around that time. Violet Voss released their Best Life eyeshadow palette and their Rainbow Fun sized eyeshadow palettes. Both of these eyeshadow palettes are a little bit colorful, a little bit cool, unique, but they're not my cup of tea, so I skipped on those. Morphe released their Pride collection with the eyeshadow palette and the eyeshadow brushes. I did not pick up either, and I probably will never pick up either of them. Tarte released a new setting spray and it's called the Stay Spray. I haven't heard much about it, but it's supposed to have 16-hour wear, waterproof, and sweat proof. Benefit Cosmetics released their Velvet Powder Foundation. It comes in 12 shades. They also released their Brightening Foundation, and I also believe they released mini sizes of their Brightening Foundation as well. ABH and Alyssa Edwards released their collaboration palette. And this is something that to date I still have not picked up, but it's something that I could consider perking up maybe later on. Dominique Cosmetics released her Glow Summer palette, which had 4 highlighters, 3 were powders, and 1 was a cream. Morphe also released another palette. It is called the 35H, which is the Hot Spot Artistry palette. Juvia's Place officially released their foundations in Ulta and I believe overall in this month, and I have shade matched myself, but I have not picked it up yet. Elf Cosmetics released a new highlighter palette, and it is called the Gleam Beam palette. Natasha Denona released her Sunrise palette in the month of June, and this was a complete surprise. I still have not picked mine up, but I'm waiting for my girl Katie to let me know, so I'll need to text her to figure out if it's good or not. Ulta had a bunch of new releases at once. They had a Buxom lipstick, LA Girl eyeshadow palette that's called the Hot Hot Heat eyeshadow palette. Lime Crime released new plushies. Revolution released some Pride stuff. Winky Lux released a Pride lip balm. The Benefit Cosmetics released a new brow 3D mascara, and BH Cosmetics released their Santa Fe eyeshadow palette. Along with some new products from Benefit, they also released a new shade in their Big Bad Girl Bang mascara and the pencil liners as well. Artist Couture released a bunch of new singles for their loose pigments. They released shades in Spotlight Glitz, Golden Hour, Icy Girl, Diamond Bronze, and Nubella, and this released on June 6th. Dominique Cosmetics officially released her Rustic Glam collection, which not only had the eyeshadow palette but also had the brushes. Obsession officially launched in Target, which was very, very new. The Balm released their Balm Fire duos, and these were available on the 4th of June. Becca released their Champagne Pop holiday anniversary collection, and this had Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. It had a lip gloss, it had a dust highlighter, a body stick, and highlighting drops, all in the shade of Champagne Pop. NARS released some oil infused lip tints in a couple of different shades. They released it in Orgasm, Primal Instinct, Primal Instinct, High Security, and Disco Inferno. Milani released a new highlighting palette. It's called Celestial. A lot of people said this looked like a Stila highlighting palette. Melt released their Impulse eyeshadow palette, and this had a good amount of controversy with this eyeshadow palette. Stilazzi released their collaboration with Jordan Liberty called Dark Room, and this is the eyeshadow palette that released on June 11th. Becca Cosmetics released an Afterglow palette, which is basically their face products, but I think they're promoting this as an eyeshadow palette, even though it's clearly face products. Persona Cosmetics released some new lip shades. These look to be more summery shades with a pink and coral lip glosses and a fiery liquid lipstick. Glamlight Cosmetics released two new Pizza Slice eyeshadow palettes. These released on the 8th. They were $22, and they're all new shades based, and none of them are duplicates of their pizza palette. Milani released two new eyeshadow palettes. One is called Gilded Noir, the other one's called Gilded Rouge, and one basically has a smoky color scheme, the other one has a little bit of a warmer color scheme to it. Dior released their new Backstage face palette. ABH released her eyeshadow primer. Too Faced released their Damn Girl mascara, and Urban Decay released their Summer Solstice all-nighter setting spray. Something that released in Asia is the Maybelline and Alice and Olivia collection. It released at that time in the month of June. To my knowledge, it's not available in the States. Pat McGrath released some new shades to her Blitz Trance lipsticks. From what I've heard, this formula is a little bit different because it's not as glittery as the previous formula has been. Makeup Forever released some new liquid lipsticks. They released a new setting spray. Guerlain released a terracotta highlighting stick. Ulta finally released MAC's first summer collection, which was the what is the name of this collection? The Electric Wonder collection. It is a very, very pretty packaging collection, and this actually released in Australia and the UK before it released in the United States. Jeffree Star released his Jawbreaker collections, where he had 2 eyeshadow palettes and a couple other things, I want to say, but I'm not completely sure. Kylie released some new lip kits in Bare and Poise K, or Poise K, yeah. Sephora released their new collection with Lily Lashes. L'Oreal released their limited edition collection for the summer. I still am going to try and force myself to go to Walmart to look at those blushes. They look incredible. Kylie released her 3rd round collaborating with Chloe. Sample Beauty released a new quad of eyeshadow palettes, 2 that have a more neutral base, one that's more neutral, one that's more warm tone, then you have a bright rainbow color, and then a nice blue, green, purple color schemed one. Ofra released their foundation in Ulta, and it's called the Absolute Cover Foundation. Tarte released their gloss sticks for girls on the go, or people on the go, and these are supposed to be both cheek products and lip products in the same product. BH Cosmetics released a mascara. It's called the Stellar Collection mascara. I didn't even know they released this mascara. This completely passed me. Same with the eyeshadow palette. I didn't even know they released this either. I don't like baked products, so that's a skip for me, and I'm not like a huge collector of mascara. I have a couple that I like to keep as backup. If this comes to Ulta, I might try it, but as of right now, no thank you. Wet n Wild released their Pac-Man collection. This has just recently actually shown up in Ulta, but prior I believed it was only in like Walmart or something like that. Dose of Colors created a new range, kind of fully fleshing out their glosses for their customers. Pixie Beauty released a bunch of collaborator products. The only things that really spoke to me are those highlighters. I might actually look at them because one of them looks like it might be peachy. That might answer my prayers for a peachy highlight. The Rach Loves collection is nice, but I don't need a highlighting palette. And then I think it's also nice that they have some more colors of the the glittery toppers. So I think those are the three things that caught my eye. I might look for these in a Target store near me. KK Beauty released her body collection, where she has like body foundation, body powders, all of those things. Once again, that's not something for me, but it might be something for you. Violet Voss also released their I Do Not Care palette. They released this on the 11th of June. Charlotte Tilbury released her Hot Lips 2 collection, where she has interchangeable compacts and lipsticks. A lot of people are loving those, so that is good. Tarte released a new collection called the Unleashed eyeshadow palette, and they also released some highlighters and some a mascara that they re-released with this, and then some lashes. I think the eyeshadow palette is okay, but not my color scheme at all. ColourPop released a big box of lippy sticks that has 48 lippy sticks combined in that box. BH Cosmetics did a collaboration with Tina Young, which has face products and an eyeshadow palette. Like I said before, the eyeshadow palette is nice, but the face products aren't going to work for me, so I'm not even going to bother at all. Glamlight Cosmetics released some new lip products. It's called the Milkshake Lip, and then some lashes to go along with their burger palette and the rest of their food themed products. Lancome released their collaboration with Chiari Ferenghi. Chiara Ferengini. I don't know, child, whatever. It's this girl right here, okay? They released their collaboration with lipsticks, looks to be a mascara, an eyeshadow palette, and maybe some lip glosses. Glossier released their brow flick, which is like a brow marker. This has been a thing that's been going around a lot lately. A lot of different brands have been releasing their own version, so if you're interested, there's bound to be a cheap version of it. ColourPop released some more glitters and glitter, what are they called? Pressed glitters and glitter obsession products. So if you're interested, definitely check those out. Physicians Formula released 4 new Rose All Day, I believe these are highlighters. Let me make sure. Yeah, these are highlighters, and they're all very, very pretty. Different rose infuses, whether they're a really deep version of a rose or it's a really light rose. Overall, very, very pretty. L'Oreal released some new Pro Matte liquid lipsticks. I used to love this formula. I still do. This might intrigue me, this really, really bright orange one. I've been really trying to find a bright orange that's opaque and actually shows up on my complexion, so I might give that a shot. Keisha Kior released a highlighting palette and a brush. Beauty Blender released a new shade of their Beauty Blender in a lemon, or a yellow if you will. The Too Faced Shake Your Pom Poms eyeshadow palette officially released on June 15th. Blush Tribe's Lila, is that the name of it? Yeah, Lila 2 palette went on pre-order in the month of June. MAC released their Fix and Scents sprays along with their MAC Fix Plus that has an SPF as well. NYX released their Born to Glow foundation. Too Faced released their Born This Way powder foundation. Milani released their eyeliners that are supposed to be stay put and transfer resistant. Elixir Cosmetics released their finishing powders. ColourPop released the Kathleen Light palette in singles, and she also released some new cheek products along with that collection. Lorac released a new highlighting quad and liquid highlighter. Morphe released a new highlighting palette. ColourPop released their California Love eyeshadow palette, and this is actually an intriguing palette. I think I might wait until it goes on sale, but it is very, very pretty, and I would actually like to have that in my collection. Makeup Revolution released their Wild Animal collection, which has 4 different eyeshadow palettes in that collection. The Mary J. Blige collaboration with MAC released on June 23rd. NYX released some cannabis oil papers. What is blotting papers? There you go. Some cannabis blotting papers. Wet n Wild released a new lip product called the Snow Melt Lip Powder. Revolution Pro released an obscene amount of products, eyeshadow palette, various types of highlighters, bronzer duos, mascaras, brow mascaras, powders, etc., etc. They released a lot of products. And they will all be pictured on the screen. Ofra released some lip glosses, and these are supposed to have sun filters, antioxidants, and jojoba oil in them. ColourPop released an extension to their Baloo collection with a mascara, a gel liner, a pencil liner, and one of the glitter pots. Juno & Co. released a new color of their sponge. It's a lavender shade. Ulta released a bunch of Kiko products, which is very, very exciting because other than before that, it was very, very hard to get Kiko products. BH Cosmetics released their Zodiac palette on the 26th of June, and this is like a very smoky, dark eyeshadow palette. ColourPop released their Honey collection, and they released that on the 27th of June. Buxom released 2 different eyeshadow palettes, one that has more of a purple hue to it, and then the other one that's more neutrals. Linda Hallberg Cosmetics released more Fantastic lipsticks. I have one of these. It is outstanding. I would highly recommend it if you find a color that you're interested in. Fenty Beauty released a bunch of minis of her products. If you notice, there are a bunch of their there's only like 1 or 2 shades of these minis. Pretty much probably the more predominantly sold products are found in the mini, so do keep that in mind. Iconic London released a brow silk, which is basically like a gel or like a kind of weird pomade, and then like a toothbrush to put it through your brows. Spectrum Cosmetics released an Oceana collection. The only thing that intrigued me were the containers, so like the acrylic storage. Those looked really nice, but I'm not going to pay that much money for no acrylic storage, so keep pushing on. Beauty Blender also came out with a lime green beauty blender. Milani also released a new eyeshadow palette that's available only on Amazon. It's called the Gilded Ember Hyper Pigmented Face and Eyeshadow Palette. And that is it. That was all that was released in the month of June. I felt like I got through that pretty quickly. Who knows? I feel like I actually have talked about a lot of the products that were actually released in the month of June. Towards July, I'll probably be talking about a little bit of in-between products that I didn't end up talking about in my must-have, must-gags. So do keep that in mind, but I hope you guys are continuing to enjoy this series. Yeah, definitely comment down below before you get to this screen, which I'll be showing you guys the full mock-up of all of the products based on who has released the most. Definitely let me know what brand you think released the most. Of course, we're going to talk about ColourPop, but we also have BH Cosmetics, a bunch of other brands that have been releasing a lot. Makeup Revolution has been releasing a lot as well. The one different thing about Makeup Revolution is because I'm in the US, a lot of their collections end up looking like they're all in one Hogmage collection, so that's why they don't seem to have too much, but they're still releasing a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please feel free to comment down below if you aren't liking this, if you think this is a waste of my time, a waste of your time. Let me know. I'll stop doing this series. There are plenty other things that I would love to talk about here. I'm starting to think about doing some top fives where I'll be talking about some top 5 product formulas and just products in general. So let me know. I'm always here to talk. So it has been real, y'all. Peace.